What's up, guys? Today I'm going to give you a little training on nutrition made simple. This is basically the most basic, simple thing that I could tell you in terms of nutrition because this is what I do and this is what I recommend you do for the most part. So, I give you all kinds of nutrition principles in the Take Command of Your Body pillar of the Take Command of Your Mind, Body, and Future course. Make sure you go through that whole course and take it and watch that nutrition principles video. It's like 40 minutes long, but that's important. And I like to teach in terms of principles more so than just give people meal plans, which I do give you meal plans. I give you all these resources in this course right here that have high protein meals, high protein meal prep with recipes, high protein snacks, and I give you some meal plan options with grocery lists. But we've all heard the term give a man a fish he eats for a day, teach a man to fish he eats for a life. So I prefer teaching you how to fish, teaching you what a healthy lifestyle looks like, and teaching you a sustainable healthy lifestyle over just telling you exactly what to eat. But I do give you some of the meal plan options because some people need to be told exactly what to do and you need an exact guideline to follow until you learn the principles. But this is where I'm going to teach you the principles and teach you what I do because this is all about having a sustainable long-term plan rather than just know what you got to do for the next 6 weeks to hit your temporary goals. You also need to know how to maintain those goals. So give a man a fish he eats for a day, teach a man to fish he eats for a lifetime. The same concept applies to a meal plan versus learning actual nutrition principles to living a healthy lifestyle. So that's what this is about. It's about teaching you what to do for the rest of your life. So the best nutrition advice is as follows. And again, watch all the nutrition principles videos, and attached to this is going to be a document that I'm going to kind of explain in this training a little bit, but it's really just about picking high protein sources, matching them with a complex carbohydrate as a side. So the first principle that you got to think about is the 90-10 rule. Again, I go over this in my nutrition principles lesson and I talk about this a lot. It's about eating 90% of your food from wholesome, nutrient dense foods that have one ingredient. So that would be like beef, turkey, chicken, eggs, whatever, meat. Also, for sides, one ingredient: sweet potato, broccoli, zucchini, things like that. One ingredient, not a box that was made in a factory with 100 ingredients on the back and preservatives and all that stuff. So I like to follow what I call a sloppy carnivore diet. That's not the technical term for it, but that's what I call it because I personally do best when I prioritize eating as much lean protein as I can. So I prioritize eating a lot of meat and I prioritize eating protein, my weight in grams of protein per day. So right now I'm 215 pounds. That means I'm going to shoot for 215 grams of protein per day, or at least close to it. And now what that's going to do is eating more protein is going to fill you up faster. So you're going to eat less amount of food and you're going to get full faster. It's so much easier to eat freaking 100 servings of rice than it is to eat 10 servings of what, meat would be because you're going to get full. It's hard to overeat a lot of protein. So shoot for your weight in grams of protein per day. That's going to make you full faster. Another thing it's going to help you preserve muscle if you're trying to lose calories, and it's also going to help you build muscle. So protein preserves and builds muscle. So that's another thing that's important about protein intake. The next thing is protein is actually thermogenic in its effects. So what that means is when you eat protein, it is more calorie. It takes more calories to digest protein than any other macronutrient. So the digestion process is actually going to help you burn more calories because protein takes more energy to digest it. So the next thing is as you build more muscle, which you have to eat protein to do that, your body is going to metabolize it's going to optimize your metabolism. So what do I mean by that? The more muscle you have on your body, the more calories your body's going to burn at rest because those muscles require more calories. So basically the protein, eating more protein is going to do all those things for you. It's going to fill you up faster. It's going to help you build and preserve muscle, which is going to help optimize your metabolism, making you burn more calories at rest. It's also thermogenic in effect, so you're going to burn more calories just to digest that protein when you eat it. So getting the right amount of protein is very important, and prioritizing protein over all other macronutrients is very important. In fact, I don't count my carbs and my fats normally. I count my protein and my calories. So as long as I hit my protein and I don't go over my calorie limit, I'm good. I don't really care about how much fats and how much carbs I take in. That's a little bit more advanced. Basically, the amount of fats and carbs can change the way that you feel in your energy levels, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. For losing weight and building muscle, just pay attention to your protein and, of course, have a good idea of the amount of calories that you're intaking. So, protein. Again, each meal I prioritize protein over all other things, and I get the majority of my protein from lean animal protein sources like chicken, steak, eggs, turkey, just stuff like that. You literally just take something like that and then you match it up with a side of complex carbohydrates. My favorites are vegetables like zucchini and broccoli, sometimes a mixed vegetable, some mixed veggies makes it easy, especially the frozen ones. And I shoot for 30 to 50 grams of protein per meal. So again, I get that protein source, try to get 30 to 50 grams of protein from that, and then add one side. Every meal is not a Thanksgiving feast. I feel like a lot of people think that they got to have a side of rice, side of vegetables, a side of meat, and something else. I literally eat a side of something that's protein, meat, and then I have a side of vegetables or a side of sweet potatoes. And that's really about it. So the key to healthy meals is to literally just choose something that provides that 30 to 50 grams of protein and then pair it with a complex carb source like vegetables or sweet potatoes. I also recommend frozen vegetables because it's simple. You don't have to do all the prep work. It takes tons of prep work out and it's cheaper. So it takes preparation time out because you know how it is when you go and buy a bunch of vegetables like zucchini and all that stuff fresh from the store. You got to cut it up. You got to do all this stuff to cook it. Whereas a bag of frozen vegetables, stir fry, frozen Primavera, which if you have Costco, they have these really good bags of this Primavera vegetables that is really good. And you just dump it into a pan and cook it. And that's it. It tastes delicious. But also with frozen vegetables is fresh vegetables, they generally pick them early because they got to get them to the store and sold before they go bad. So they do not pick them at the peak of their nutrient density. Whereas frozen vegetables, they usually pick them at the peak of their nutrient density because then they immediately freeze them, which locks those nutrients in. So a lot of the time, the frozen vegetables actually have higher nutrient density than the fresh vegetables. So that's a good little hack, and it makes it easier because when it comes to eating healthy and staying healthy, simplicity is the name of the game. So just choose a protein source with one side of complex carbs. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So for breakfast, I generally go for just 5 eggs. Eggs have 6 grams of protein each. So if I'm only having eggs, I have 5 eggs. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of cheese, but be aware of cheese because it is a higher fat content. So if you're trying to lose weight, don't eat too much cheese. And if you're really trying to lose weight, maybe just cut out the cheese completely temporarily. But for breakfast, literally just 5 eggs, or I have 4 to 5 eggs with a lean protein source like chicken sausage, turkey bacon, or lean ground beef. And I stay away from, and you should stay away from the higher fat protein sources like pork sausage because it is very high in fat. You can have it once in a while, but for the most part, keep pork sausage out of your breakfast because the fat content will put you so much further over your calories just by having that. So stick to lean protein sources like turkey sausage, chicken sausage, things of that nature. And again, make sure that you have enough for a minimum of 30 grams of protein. I recommend shooting for closer to 40 grams of protein per meal because that's going to make it easier for you to actually hit your protein goal at the end of the day. 30 grams per meal makes it a little bit harder. And just keep in mind those eggs have 6 grams of protein per. So if I'm only having eggs again, I'll have at least 5 eggs. But usually I'll have 4 or 5 eggs with a lean protein source to get that protein up a little bit. And it tastes a lot better to have a little bit of meat or something with your eggs. So a great source of protein other than eggs and meat is high protein Greek yogurt. I usually like to add some berries to it. So I'll eat Greek yogurt almost every day because it's a good source of protein. I get the Okios or another one is the Dannon high protein one. It has like 14 grams per serving. The Okios has 17 grams of protein per serving. They even have some that I've seen that's like 22 grams of protein, but I've only seen that in a couple stores. So other than meat and eggs, high protein Greek yogurt is another good source of protein. So you can definitely keep that on hand. And I usually just keep some frozen blueberries to add to that. You can throw them in the microwave for a couple minutes, throw them in there, and it tastes really good. I also have my protein shakes with Greek yogurt. I'll have like my whey protein with some Greek yogurt and some milk. And sometimes I add some blueberries in there and blend it up. And that'll give me like a 50 gram of protein shake rather than just having the 30 grams that's in the protein powder itself. So this is the important part about the whole matching up a protein source with a side. And again, attached to this lesson is resources with a list of protein sources and a list of complex carbohydrate sources. You literally just match them up and you can make like hundreds of meals with that. And you season them up differently and you could make all kinds of different tasting meals with different protein sources and different carb sources. So no need to always have a recipe. Just pair up different protein sources with different sides from the lists in the resources on this, and just learn how to prepare, cook, and season different ways to make it taste good. It's all trial and error. This is how I learned how to cook. I don't always have a recipe book. I don't always have, recipes or have to look things up. Sometimes you do, but there's so many recipes out there you can do that. But you got to learn how to just eat simple. Eat protein with a side. The goal here is to get the right nutrients to fuel your body. It's not to always have, a dinner that tastes like a dessert that you just love. And I do love it. I love eating a steak. I love eating some chicken with some vegetables. It tastes good, especially as you go through this trial and error and you learn how to put different seasonings together to do so. In the future, I will try to work on like maybe a training on how to season food. I'm not an expert on it, but we do have somebody in the group, in the community that is good at it. So I think me and him are going to work on putting together a training to help you guys learn how to season your foods differently so you can take, the list of the protein sources in the different sides and you could make 100 different tasting meals with the different ways that you can season them. But the main part of it is to just start cooking and learn how to cook from trial and error. It's not rocket science. Just start throwing stuff together. Make sure you get the right protein and you're cutting out the processed garbage and just eat to fuel your results. We're looking at food as a means to achieve a result in ourselves and to fuel our bodies to feel good. We're not looking at it as comfort and entertainment. So that's what's important here. But again, I'm not saying that we're eating crappy here. Like, who doesn't like a good steak with a side of sweet potatoes? That's delicious. That's better than any pizza if you ask me. So moral of the story for this is to get a lot of protein, mostly from meat. Cut out the processed simple carbohydrates like bread and stuff that comes out of a box. Replace them with healthy complex carbs. So just pair up a protein source with a carb source. Two things in your meal, 2 things for dinner tonight. That's it. And then season as you please and figure it out. I don't know how to make it much more simple than that. Now, if you're pressed for time with no time to cook a real meal, or you're in a hotel, which is the case for me many times, here are some things that you can grab from most any grocery store to prepare in a microwave or at home in a hotel while staying on your meal plan. So I'm going to post the pictures right here so you guys can see these. So here's the pictures of those items. Now, any grocery store has like pre-cooked chicken that comes in a bag that you can just heat up. They have these packs of bin rice that you throw in the microwave for 90 seconds. You just crack the bag open, throw it in the microwave for 30 seconds. And then you could go get a low sugar or no sugar sauce with low calories. And you could literally just take this microwavable chicken and put it on this rice and put some sauce on it, and it's delicious. Or you could get these meatballs that I like, just look at the protein content, have enough to get 30 to 40 grams of protein, put them over some rice. Or you can get some frozen vegetables and heat those up in the microwave and have the chicken or meatballs over that. Or there's these microwavable meatloafs, or these, this beef that you throw in the microwave. There's all kinds of these things in the store that you can get. So if you don't have time and you're pressed for time that week and you can only have time to microwave food, or you're in a hotel like I am a lot of the time, just hit the grocery store, If you're out of town all week, go hit the grocery store after your first day at work, stock your hotel room up with these things right here, and just throw it in the microwave and eat. That way you're getting your protein. You're not going out to eat, because I've come to find out that it's almost impossible to stay within your calorie limit and get the right amount of protein if you're eating out all the time, because restaurants make things highly palatable. They make it taste good so that you come back. So it's very high in calories, and it's easy. It's hard to go to a restaurant and get something that is not less than or more than half of what your calorie intake should be for that day. So I'll put the overall list of the pictures at the end of this video too. And that way you guys can go get these things in your hotel, and you could be prepared to stay on your plan even when you're not at home, and even when you can only eat out of a microwave for the week. That way you can stay within your calories, hit your protein, and continue working to progress towards your goals even when you're out of town or don't have time to actually cook meals. So this is Nutrition Made Simple. That's it for today, guys. This is as simple as I could make it, and you could literally take what I told you right here and get in the best shape of your life. I'm trying to give you all the tools, resources, and trainings to make sure that you can take command of your body. And again, this is probably the most valuable training of all, but make sure you go watch all the nutrition principles in the Take Command of Your Mind, Body, and Future course, because that is also very important, and the other ones that are in this classroom section. So thanks for watching, guys. Now get out there and apply these things. Learn how to cook. Keep it simple. It's not rocket science. And get out there and take command of your body and your nutrition today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.